There's really one reason more than any other why we can make hand balancing a matter of time and not something that some people can get and some people can't. And that reason is a bail, right? So handstands can be really scary, and it's not so much leaving the floor, I think, for a lot of people. The fear is falling forward, falling over your back, falling on your back. And the nice thing is that when you're ready, there's an easy way we can get around this, and that way is the bail. So imagine it's like if you're going skydiving and we're giving you a parachute, right? And we're giving you a parachute that you can deploy in a moment's notice, right? When anything goes wrong, boom, pull a parachute, and you're good, you're safe, right? That's this bail, and that's what it does for your handstand. So when you're hand balancing, even when you start working to get off the wall, you're gonna fall a lot, right? If you're doing any decent practice, you're gonna be falling all the time, and it's really not an option that every time you fall forward, you're gonna slam down on your back, right? It's not gonna be fun. It's certainly gonna be very distracting. Um, and while you could be tough and like push through quite a few of them, it's going to be really counterproductive at the very least. So, what we can do instead is essentially, so this is a cartwheel bail. This is the best way to bail. It's the fastest, it's the safest, it's the easiest. And essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to redirect the fall. So, if we're falling forward, so if we fall backwards, we fall on our feet, right? So, that's not a problem. I come up, boom, I fall backwards. No problem. Just make sure you land on your feet. On the ball of your foot, not the top of your foot, right? And that's all you need to do. Now, if you fall forward, that can be scarier. So what we're going to do is we'll move the hands so that we redirect that forward fall to be a sideways fall. And when you fall sideways, you can still land on your feet. Okay, so we have a few progressions to learn this. Ideally, I like teaching it by spotting people, but if you have a little bit of confidence here, a little bit of bravery, you can get this by yourself, no problem. So the first thing, so we need to have some strength to be able to get in chest to wall here. If we don't have that strength, the center of mass is going to be too far behind the hands that you can't even rotate the hand here. It's not going to work, right? So we need to get in fairly close. Get in as close as is comfortable. And from here, all we're going to do is we're going to move one hand. I'm going to rotate this hand to 90 degrees. And as I do so, I'm also going to rotate the hips. So what a lot of people will do, they'll rotate the hand, but they'll leave the hips behind. And then, you're somewhere here. And that's no good. You can get out, but it's no good. So what we want to do, I'm going to do one quick motion and rotate the hand, rotate the hips. As I come down, I'm going to reach my outside foot. So if I move my left hand, I'm going to reach with this left foot to the floor here. And then from there, I can bend and crumple into the floor to make that a soft landing, right? I don't want you guys to be crashing down on your feet every single time, right? We don't want that. Or another really common mistake is bending the feet. You notice that comes down quite hard as well. So rotate the hand, the torso, the hips, everything. It all goes together. Reach with the outside foot to the floor. Bend, crumple, nice soft landing. Okay, and you'll know you've done a soft landing because it will be quiet, right? And if your landing hurts, or it's really loud, or certainly both, you know you haven't done it quite right. One more thing, as you get good at it, we want to get this quick. If you had like a parachute that takes 5 seconds to deploy versus one that takes 2 seconds to deploy, or 1 second, right? Which one's gonna be safer? Which one do you want? Of course, you want the faster one, right? Because you don't wanna have to wait, something dangerous happens, you don't wanna have to wait 5 seconds before you're safe. You wanna be like this. And with this bail, 1 second is slow. We could do quarter second, easily less than half a second. It certainly feels more like a quarter second or even lower, but we can count the frames on this video and we'll see how fast it really is. But it's quick, right? The thing is really, once you've rotated, you're good. Freestanding, what this looks like, I'm here, I'm bouncing, oh my God, I'm falling forward, boom. From this side, balancing, falling forward, just like that. Can be a little scary at the beginning. Be brave here, not too brave. So if you feel like your arms are shaking at all as you're walking in chest to wall, don't do this yet. Don't worry about it. We'll build up your strength more before you learn this, right? Because we really don't need this until we start doing freestanding work, right? Because when you're doing the freestanding work, that's where you're going to be falling all the time. We can have you build up the strength safely, and then we can come back to this if needed, right? But if you have the strength, you can walk in, your arms aren't shaking, they're stable, you can do this. Be brave, rotate, be quick, do it all together, don't leave the legs behind, reach for the floor, crumple softly, and you'll be good. So one more progression in between these two, right? So, of course, you guys aren't gonna learn the bail on the wall and start working freestanding. But one more progression I like to do, when you're starting to feel quite comfortable and good at this, the real test is gonna be that you come off the wall and start falling and then bail. And when you can do that comfortably, then you know you're gonna be good. And then think about that, right? That's gonna give you so much more confidence when you go freestanding. This is the way I like to build confidence. It's not, or work against fear. It's not really like just brute force, like just do it, right? If you can comfortably bail at a moment's notice when you start losing your balance in a handstand, there's nothing to be afraid of, right? Versus if you can't bail, you can see how much less sense it makes to just say, don't be afraid of falling, right? When you're gonna fall often, versus, okay, you can be afraid of falling, sure, but we're gonna get you so comfortable with this bail that you're not gonna ever fall on your back. You're gonna have the skill to always change the direction of that fall and land on your feet.